to begin episode 23, 2112. So I just got done with work and I had myself a good dinner. And I was thinking, well, I'm going to put this one off. I'm like, I can't put this one off. I just can't. So I came home, took a shower, got the studio set up, and like, baby, we got to do this. 2112. So if you guys are watching this, my channel for the first time, and watching this playlist reaction song reaction for the first time, I invite you to go into Brian's playlist reactions. Okay? I don't want to explain it every video, but essentially I'm taking you guys through the journey, the musical journey of my life. That landscape, that soundscape, what's important to me, what formed my musical mind, what was influential to me, why I look at music the way I do, in a way why I look at life the way I do, and featuring artists, bands, guitar players, songs, albums, all of it. And at this point, we are on episode 23. We're still in the timeline of my life when I was a middle teens, right around 1987 is when the music bug hit me. So from 87 to about 95 was the main 8 years of discovery of music, and just soaking it all in and finding the ones that were most important to me. Rush became that with this album. When I heard this album, we're not doing the whole album in this reaction. We're doing side one, the story, 2112. Okay? So I did, the last episode was The Fountain of Lamneth. Fantastic story. And it was the beginning of basically those three albums where they had these epic side-long stories. And yes, I will be doing Hemispheres. So 2112, well, for them, this was 1976. They had just come off the tour for Caress of Steel, and that did not go well for them. It actually kind of went in reverse, which to me was like, what? Because Caress of Steel was the first album I bought, thought it was awesome, still think it's awesome. Many of us do. Many of us Rush fans do. But, as it were, it did not do well. And these three gentlemen were under extreme pressure from the record companies to create more user-friendly music, radio-friendly music, shorter songs, and, just the record company seeing, like sharks in the water, seeing that they were wounded, they weren't doing well, and they're like, hey, now we're going to come in here and tell you what to do. And their manager, Ray Daniels, was like, yes, we'll do it. These guys go into the studio and they make a collective decision that we're going to do this our way. The freedom of expression, individualism, music should not be dictated by any group of people. Okay? Understand what I'm telling you right now, because it's going to be key to understanding the song. And so they finished the album, put it together, gave it to the record company. Record company hated it, but it was a done deal. They put it out there, and the masses loved it. It spoke to the people. And the record sales went through the roof, and the record company says, all right, Rush, you know what you're doing. We don't. Hands off. You can do whatever you want for the rest of your career, is basically what happened. And they did. So they bought their independence through this album. And this song is somewhat of an allegory. What we have is a dystopian future where there's an elite few, the priests of the temples of Syrinx, who are in control of what you see and what you hear. Music is outlawed, okay? You understand what I was saying? Okay, so like, the priests of the temples of Syrinx were kind of like the record executives. And in this story, you have a protagonist who discovers this thing from a long vanished time ago, and it's a guitar. And he teaches himself how to play it, discovers the beauty of music, takes it to the priests, says, "Look at this, and look what we can do, and just think about what people can do." They shoot him down. Boom. That's not allowed. This is, basically your individualism, your freedom of expression. It's part of the reason why the you know I don't know, the Earth wasn't destroyed, but the elder race. They talk about the elder race left our planet long ago and went off somewhere else, and the priests took a dystopian, tyrannical control, and they shoot it down. They're like, "You're not allowed to sing what you want. You're not allowed to play music," that sort of thing. The guy's crushed, and he goes off. He winds up having a dream, meets an oracle. The oracle shows him all these fantastic things that man can do. And when he awakes, he realizes, I'm not living in that world, and I don't want to be in this world. It's a tragedy. He takes his own life. But just at the end, the elder race comes back to claim the home where they belong, right? So the masses speak. And it's, did they know that the masses were going to jump on board with this? Probably not, but who knows? And so it kind of mirrored reality for them. Now, when I heard this, that was it. I'm like, if a band can do this in its entirety, there is no other band. I went off the deep end with that. I'm like, there's no one else. No one, and I'm not as, I don't know the word I'm looking for. I'm not that much like Russian, no one else, as I was, but they still hold that standard that people have yet to knock them off of that pedestal for me. And there have been some bands and some groups that have gotten close. But when you make a statement like this, you make an album like this, a song like this that you're about to hear if you've never heard it before, and you understand what the message they were trying to say, and they wrapped it up in this sort of science fiction futuristic package that in 1976 was absolutely anathema to the record companies, but that the people just ate up and was like, this is the best thing ever. It is. And we can make an argument that this is the best rock album ever made, especially because of that, because it encapsulates that spirit of rebellion against tyranny. You can't make this stuff up, folks. Okay, so now, as you know, Neil Peart writes the lyrics and is the best drummer ever to have lived. So the liner notes, there's like a little bit of a letter here, okay? I lie awake staring at the bleakness of Megadon. City and sky become one, merging into a single plane, a vast sea of unbroken gray. The twin moons just two pale orbs as they trace their way across the steely sky. I used to think I had a pretty good life here, just plugging into my machine for the day, then watching Temple Vision or reading the temple's paper in the evening, right? The priests of the temples of Syrinx that control what you read and what you see, what you hear, controlling the narrative. Does that sound familiar? My friend John always said it was nicer here than under the atmospheric domes of the outer planets. We have had peace since 2062, when the surviving planets were banded together under the red star of the Solar Federation. The red star of the Solar Federation. The less fortunate gave us a few new moons. I believed what I was told. I thought it was a good life. I thought I was happy. Then I found something that changed it all. You guys ready? Oh, it's signed Anonymous 2112. That's the year. So 2112 is the year of the story. Let's do it. I mean, an intro like this, come on, baby. 48 seconds of bliss. This is Overture. His guitar playing. Oh! This is why he became one of my favorites. Next movement is going to be called the Temples of Surge. Now we're introduced to the priests. And they're going to be telling us about them. This is the priest singing to us. Essentially. Classical acoustic guitar. Alright, this next movement is going to be called Discovery. This is where he discovers an ancient device, a guitar, next to a waterfall. And he's learning how to tune it before he learns how to play it. After discovery comes presentation, where he takes it to... I'm going to let these two flow together. So this movement is obviously discovery, like I said. The next movement is presentation. They're going to flow together. I think it's you know, it's good to just let them play out. So when he brings this to the priests, you're going to tell by the voices, the way that Gettr sings. You're going to tell who's who. So when you'll see. This last piece, the way he was singing, that's how the priests are going to sound when he sings in presentation. Okay? You got it? You'll follow along. Alex really, this is when he became like guitar god to me, this album.
What can this strange device do? When I touch it, it gives forth a sound. It's got wires that vibrate and give music. What can this thing be that I've found? the sad heart and joyously screams out its pain. Sounds that build high like a mountain on notes that fall gently like rain.
Like rain, falling like rain. Love it.
I can't wait to share this new wonder. The people will all see its light. Let them all make their own music. Please
Here we
praise
go.
my name on
Presentation
this
now.
night. I know it's most unusual to come before you so, but I found an ancient miracle I thought that you should know. Listen to my music and hear what it can do. There's something here as strong as life. I know that it will reach you. Yes, we know it's nothing new. It's just a waste of time.
Priest saying it's a waste of time.
No need for ancient ways of waiting to find another joy, helpless joy. And the race of men. Forget about your silly web. It doesn't fit the plan. No, I can't believe you're saying these things just can't be true. Our world could use this beauty. Just think what we might do. Listen to my music. Hear what it can do. There's something here that's as strong as light. I know that it will reach you. Thousand miles further. Oh, we have no right to do. Just think about the average. What use have they for you? Another toy to help destroy the only race of man. Forget about your silly wheel. It doesn't fit the plan.
And I love how the guitars are continuing the motif from Overture and Priest. Okay, this is called Oracle, the Dream.
full sleep. Escape to realms beyond the night. Dream, can't you show me the light? I stand atop a spiral stair. Miracle confronts me there. He leads me on light years away through astral nights, galactic days. I see the works of gifted hands that raise the strange and wondrous land. I see the heads of men raised with hungry mind and open eyes. They left our planets long ago. The elder race still learn and grow. Their power grows with purpose strong to claim the home where they belong. Home to tear the temples down. Home to change.
All right, this one is called Soliloquy. And then we finish with the grand finale.
The sleep is still in my eyes. The dream is still in my head. I heave a sigh and sadly smile and lie a while in bed. I wish that it might come to pass, not fade like all my dreams. Just think of what's smiling behind me in a world I can't see. I don't think I can carry on. It's cold and my spirit's alone in the depths of despair. My lifeblood
Lifeblood spills over. Kill himself. Oh, it's a tragedy. It's like a Greek tragedy. The grand finale. Here we go. And all the guitar layering in this section really just blew my mind. Like, Alex, what are you doing? crescendo. And thus they did. They did assume control over their own career, over their own creative processes. They can do whatever they want, and that is the whole point. The blessing of music, the miracle of music that God gave us is this voice, our own individual voices, whether it comes through singing or the instruments that we play, the creativity, the freedom of thought, the freedom of expression, in healthy, good, righteous ways, and not to have anybody put their hands on it and try to control what it is that you're doing, control the narrative, control the creative process. Okay, this speaks on so many levels, and it's prophetic, especially with what we're going through today, as we're trying to fight, as we're understanding, we're understanding that the priests of the temples of Syrinx have been in control on this planet, and they're controlling the media, and people are waking up and trying to fight against it. Okay, this is like the key. Okay, song. It speaks to the individual. It speaks to society. It was simply a statement on their part, but my God, it has ramifications, reverberations throughout. This is timeless, okay, because it speaks. It's full of conflict. The individual against the few, the conflict within himself. It just drama, ripe drama, fantastic, through the roof, excellent musicianship. The way Gettr sang in Discovery and Presentation brings me to tears every time. Just the passion and the beauty with how he sang it, okay, and how he was pleading. Listen to my music. Can't you hear what it can do? There's something here as strong as life. I hope it will reach you. I mean, it just like, oh my God. Everything, it's perfect. There's nothing wrong at all. No, you can't do it better. You can't do it worse. And who is going to come along? Tell me, honestly, who's going to come along and do this in such a way? Okay. Sure, maybe technology has improved, sound can improve, that sort of thing. But we're talking about the essence of what this is, what it means. What it means. Okay? This is art. It's not just me, it's art. It is the collective consciousness of three individuals saying, no, we refuse to be controlled. Refuse. Okay? This was it for me as a teenager, man. I may do the second half of this album. It's not attached to the first half as far as the storyline is concerned. But it is a great album. And I don't know how I want to do that, because I set out just to do this right now. But I'll think on how I want to do that. So what's different here with this versus Fountain of Lamneth? You still have individual songs within the framework of the overall arching song, but the guitar rhythm section, there was the motif was being carried throughout more consistently, whereas in Fountain of Lamneth it was really the bookend songs that were pretty much the same that way. Now it wasn't the same all the way through, but if you go back and you listen to, there's a certain rhythmic motif that Alex was using that carried along, and just being able to sculpt this world through music, through sound, it was just like mind blowing, amazing. Still is. Remember, that was 1976, folks. In 2 years, this will be 50 years old. You just heard something, and probably some of you are hearing it for the first time. You're probably like, what? I mean, this is what I'm talking about, man. This is like, okay, so all of these metal bands, especially the fantasy metal bands, the prog rockers were doing it first. They sowed those seeds. Okay? You get what I'm saying? Get what I'm saying? This is amazing. Amazing. Absolutely. All right. We are almost 40 minutes. We're 36, 37 minutes. Wow. Probably the longest video I've made. I don't know how I'm going to handle the second half of the album. If it's going to come into the playlist reactions or if I'm just going to do it as an extension as regular videos. But I feel like I'm going to have to. The next one up is going to be Hemispheres. The first half of that album. I mean, both of these albums are just it for me, right? I mean, but Farewell to Kings was sandwiched in between 2112 and Hemispheres. But I'm featuring the epic songs, story songs. Cygnus X1 was off of Farewell to Kings. It kind of has a connection into Hemispheres, which is really cool, going from one album into the next album. But we will deal with that at another time. I did Cygnus X1. That was episode 3 of my playlist reaction journey. So go check that out. Remember, I'm featuring Rush. Yes, I'm featuring a song. But more importantly, you heard a lot more of the guitar out front here because Alex Lifeson is, like, as a guitar player, in my top 3 for a very good reason. Okay, that's it. God bless you guys. Jesus loves you. Thank you so much for joining me. And I hope to see you in more of these reactions on my journey. Talk to you later.